Yo, what's good everybody? Hope y'all are having a super blessed day and welcome back to SharpeSports. And today's a blessed day for me. Today is my 24th birthday. So first and foremost, I want to give all, and when I say all, I mean all praise and glory to God. I'm just so thankful that not only has he blessed me with an amazing 24 years of life, but on top of that, I mean, when I look back in my life, I never thought that I would be in this position in life where I have a YouTube channel that's my full-time job, and I'm living in LA. I'm about to move to Dallas. Like I just never would have thought that I would be in this position. I never thought I would have had such an amazing subscriber group that the way that I do. Like I'm just so thankful, humbled, and just honored that God just blessed me with another year here on this earth, and just all the blessings that he's really just poured out on my life. And one of the biggest blessings that God blessed me with is you guys, my amazing subscribers. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for all those who, this may be the first video that you're watching, or you may have watched from like the beginning of my channel. I just want to say this, anybody who has ever come across my channel, I just wanted to say thank you for just showing support to the videos in any way, whether you just accidentally clicked on a video or whether you watched every single video. I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting the channel. Now, real quick, if you haven't already, we are on the road to 200K. So just a little quick plug. If you haven't already, just double check. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit it and be sure to turn on your notifications because you don't want to miss any of the videos that we are dropping daily. Also, we are still having a highlight live stream today. It's gonna be a little bit different, you know. We're gonna relax, we're gonna turn it up a little bit, you know. We're gonna have fun today. So hey man, show up to the highlight live stream. Is going to be starting at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time or 7:30 Eastern for my boys obviously on the East Coast. So yeah, we're just gonna be having fun, you know, just having a nice little birthday stream. So because it is my birthday, I didn't want to have to sit up here and edit a full-on video. So I just want to have something real easy that I can make. So I wanted to do a Q&A video. So I asked you guys on the community tab of the channel, which again, by the way, you want to be subscribed and turn your notifications on so you know when those community tab posts are posted. But I asked you guys to ask me some questions for a Q&A, and we're about to go over some of them. So the first question that we're going to be going over is from my homie Jeremiah Wright, and he is saying, what is your ethnicity? I thought it would be quite clear. I'm South Korean and Filipino. I'm kidding. No, I am half black and half white. My dad is black. My mom is white. My mom is like Polish, German, and Irish, if I remember correctly. And I don't know, I'm just black on my dad's side. So yeah, I'm half black, half white, AKA mulatto. The next question comes from my boy Caden Smooth. He said, who is your favorite football player? So actively, I'm gonna say some of my favorite football players are Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Amari Cooper, and Deshaun Watson. At least and Christian McCaffrey. Those are like my favorite, like if I had to just build a team around some guys, like those would just be my favorite players. And then of all time, it's Jerry Rice and Calvin Johnson. Like those two guys, like I used to play receiver, so those are just my favorite players of all time. Yo, one of my favorite questions that one of y'all asked comes from Hashir Khan, and he said, happy birthday, Sharpe. Which again, thank you, man, I appreciate it. He said, what was your favorite route to run when you were in high school? Oh man, we didn't get to run it much, but man, a 15-yard comeback route, bro, that was my bread and butter because I wasn't the fastest receiver. I was more of a big body possession receiver. So most corners, I would try and beat them to the outside, and they're like, oh, I could just keep up with them. So they would start to look back for the ball. And especially because like I knew little tips and tricks of the trade. So it's like, hey, when you're running a comeback, for all my receivers out here, here's how you run an effective comeback. You want to fake stem to the inside and then just try and beat them to the outside. You get to the outside. You look back for the ball around that like 13-yard mark, so you're taking a couple steps, and then as soon as you see that they're looking back for the ball, boom, 1, 2, just or 1, 2, 3, just depending on however many steps you need. Just break that route off, come back to the ball, pluck it out the air, and then see if you can make something happen out of that. But that a comeback route is hands down my favorite route that I would run in high school. The next question comes from Rafael Ibarra. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. And he said, do college football players have restrictions when it comes to college parties, staying out late, social media, etc.? Please explain your experience as a student athlete in college. Thank you. And thank you, man. I appreciate the question. So again, I was only playing college football for 1 year, but I was starting to see, so basically at least how it worked at Linfield College and at the D3 level. So obviously it gets just kind of crazier and crazier the bigger school that you go to. But basically during the season, you don't go to any parties like during the season. And also the football team, at least at Linfield, like the football team kind of ran all the parties. Like if the football team wasn't partying, then nobody else was really partying. So because the football teams were like in all of the frats and they like ran all the frats. So basically, I remember this was maybe like this was because we got there a month before everybody else did. So we were at the school in like late July, early August, and then everybody else came at like the end of August. So maybe this is maybe like the second week of all the rest of the students being on campus. Me and some of the homies in the dorm, some of the other freshman homies, we were walking to a party. And I just remember one of the upperclassmen, he didn't see us, but he basically saw that like some football players were coming. Like he didn't know it was exactly like a specific person, but he was just in his car, just driving up and down the block saying, any freshman, if you go to this party, we will like call you out. So like basically just go back home. Like basically during the season, you're focused on football. After the season, yeah, everybody turns up, everybody does their own thing. But during the season, you don't really go to parties. I mean, you can, but at least for most programs, they probably just want you to focus on just playing football and not really getting in trouble, which it makes sense. So as far as like social media, I'm not really sure what the extent of that is. Probably just whatever. Always just take this rule. Like, hey, just imagine if Jesus was sitting in the room with you. Would you post what you're about to post, or would you say what you're about to say? If you live by that rule, it's pretty simple. But yeah, as far as the parties go, during the season, pretty much a no-go. After the season, kind of free reign. Yo, my boy Makai McNeil had a pretty good question. What matchups do you think would be interesting to see out of all the players that you've reviewed? First off, that is a great question. So I would say probably, I know the first one I would like to see is Najee Harris go up against Justin Flo. I would love to see that 1v1 matchup, just a high school senior Najee Harris versus a high school senior Justin Flo. That would be absolutely crazy. Some of the top receivers, I would like to see them go up against Derek Stingley in high school, or who's my boy from modern day who went to IMG? Elias Ricks. I would love to see guys like Garrett Wilson, G. Scott Jr., guys like that. I would love to see them go up against high school Derek Stingley, because I mean, high school Derek Stingley was one of the best college cornerbacks and people just didn't even know it yet. But yeah, those would be some of the matchups I would have liked to have seen in high school from some of the players that I've covered. My boy Ty Elder asked, who is the best DB I've ever been covered by? And hands down, so I should have had a lot better high school stats, because literally the average size of the corner that went up against me in high school was like 5'7", 140. And in high school, my junior year, I was like 6'2", 180, like 175, 180. And my senior year, I was 6'3", 185, 190. So clearly I always had a size mismatch. But my senior year, last game I ever played in high school, we were in the playoffs. In the first half, I had like 60, 70 yards receiving, because I got like 45 of them off of like this crazy post, went up and plucked it. I had to do what I had to do. They ended up switching their like 3-star athlete, who was a 6'5", like 215 pound, he's like more like 220, like just a freak athlete. I mean, the kid had like offers to like all the major Pac-12 schools, and he was just lined up over top of me, and like I was just not used to going up against corners who were bigger than me, like let alone just the same size as me. Like no, like he was like way bigger than me. He was fast. Like the kid was crazy talented, and so he was by far the best corner I've ever been covered by. My boy Jonathan Angst, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, said, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about being a YouTuber? Okay, this is something I actually want to get into a little bit. So my favorite part about being a YouTuber, there's plenty of things that I love. I mean, first off, I love the fact that I'm my own boss. So, because I hated going to work in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I'm a night person. So just being able to make my own schedule, that is awesome. And then just the freedom to just do what I love. I mean, I get to watch highlights and I get to just watch football basically all day and get paid for it. Like it's literally a blessing. And I get to interact with some of the best people in the world, you guys, my subscribers. So like that is hands down my favorite part about being a YouTuber. The thing I hate about being a YouTuber the most, I'm not gonna say hate, I'm just gonna say the worst part about it is the disrespect, I guess, that you get as a YouTuber, but like, hear me out. So first off, most people don't look at what I do as like an actual job. Like they just think like, oh, you just watch videos online and you just get paid for it. But like, I literally had to teach myself how to edit in Premiere Pro. I had to teach myself how to use Photoshop. I had to teach myself how to use SEO, which is a search engine optimization, to like make sure that my videos are getting out there. Like I spend like 2-3 hours on every single video, and I've made like well over like, well, I think we're at like 705 videos on the channel or something like that. Like I put a lot of work and effort and energy into the channel, and most people just look at it as like, oh, I could do what you do. And then the second thing is, they act like because I don't have like a normal job that they can just ask me questions that like nobody else really would ask. Like normally when I tell someone that I'm a YouTuber, this is how it goes. It goes, oh, so what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a YouTuber. Oh, what? Like, oh, that's so cool. Like, so like, how do you get paid from that? Oh, well, you know, like the ads that play before YouTube videos? Yeah, I get paid off of those. Oh, okay, cool. Well, if you don't mind me asking, how much do you make? When does that ever come up in any other conversation? It's like, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a doctor. Oh, that's cool. How much do you make? Like everybody just disregards the fact that like, that's like a private question. Like nobody else asks that from anybody else's job. Like if you're working at McDonald's, or if you're working like just like a normal job at like a normal desk job, like a consulting firm or something like that, like you're not like, the second question that you ask someone isn't how much you make, like, but everybody loves to ask that. And then when you don't want to answer it, then they make you feel bad because they're like, oh, I was just trying to figure out. It's like, it's just a little bit insensitive. So it's just like the lack of respect, I guess, that people put on the job. It's like, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And when people just think like it's easy to do, it's like, no, it actually does take like a lot of work. So just a little bit of a rant, but I mean, that question gets asked way less than the amazing blessings and benefits that come from being a YouTuber. So hey, at the end of the day, being a YouTuber it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And the most asked question, which I'm gonna put all the people who asked the question right here just to shout y'all out. The most asked question was basically what made me want to start doing YouTube. So it's kind of a long story, but we got time because, you know, it's my video, I have to edit it, so it's whatever. So basically in high school, I went to Palm Desert High School, and I'm not gonna name any specific coaches' names, but basically I went there and everybody else basically saw that I was a pretty talented receiver. Like I'm not sitting up here saying that if I would have been like a focus of the team, that I would have been like a 5-star recruit. I say if the team would have utilized me the way that I thought I could have been used, I would have been a solid 2-star, maybe a 3-star receiver. I say that from the hundreds of tapes I've seen on receivers, I can say, looking at my game, and if I would have also been coached up a little bit better, 2 or 3-star would have been pretty fair. So basically, my coaches never really believed in me. They would always start me, but I would get maybe like 2 targets a game as the team's leading receiver. Like that doesn't really make sense. Like it basically, like I just had a really rough time in high school where I knew my talent was like, I could see myself in film, I could see myself in practice. Like I saw what I was doing. It's like, hey, like I'm talented, but I'm not seeing that same talent on game day. Like they're not throwing me the ball, and I'm just not getting the same opportunities as I thought I should have been getting. So basically after I got done with high school, and luckily I got to go play a year in college just to kind of like solidify like, hey, like I was actually good enough to play in college. But after that, I just kind of stopped playing football because I personally didn't believe that I had the talent to go play at the next level. And also just, I don't want to call it mental abuse, but I guess that is what you would call it. Just from having just all of the people who you look up to and your coaches basically just all tell you that you're trash and like, oh, you're not as good as you think you are, like yada yada XYZ. It's like, I'm just trying to help out the team. Like if there's a 5'7" corner that's lined up against me and I'm 6'2", why would we not just throw the ball up every now and again just to, you know, just test the waters? Like if I saw that in Madden, like I would be like, oh yeah, well, that's a fade all day, but that's neither here nor there. So basically after high school, or after I was done playing football, I really hated football. Like I didn't want anything to do with football. I felt like football was like oh, they cheated me out of, like, I was supposed to be in the NFL, or at least I was supposed to play like major D1 football. Like, oh, I just had a lot of resentment towards it, because a lot of the thing, I mean, I wanted to be in the NFL since I was like a little kid. Like, football was like my first love. It was the first thing where I really gave like 100% of myself to it. So I remember the first like step that kind of helped me to start making a YouTube channel was actually going to a football game. I remember it was my homie Tyler's birthday, and we went to a Chargers-Raiders game in San Diego. This was back when they were the San Diego Chargers. And I just remember sitting there, and I was really uncomfortable at first, because like I'm just like watching all the players. I'm watching all the players. I'm like I was supposed to be there. Like, my whole life I was always just like, man, like I'm gonna be a professional football player. And I was just like watching them, and I was just like, man, like that was supposed to be me. And like I was sitting there like during the warm-ups, and I was just like really sad. But then like as the game started going, I was like, no, I like really still love football. Like, maybe not playing it, but like I love football still. And like, so that was kind of like the first step to kind of like get me back out of my shell of like, hey, like just because you didn't go pro doesn't mean that you have to just completely cut football out of your life. And so especially for a lot of you guys, most high school football players, like that's all they do. Like, they don't play a lot of other sports, or like football is just their main focus. And so when I stopped playing football, well, that was a huge portion of my life that I wasn't really doing anything. So like I had to replace that with something. And so I was like, okay, well, I've watched a YouTube video every single day since like 10. So I was what, 18, 19 at the time. So I'm like, I've watched a YouTube video every single day of my life for like 9 years. Like, let me just see what this is like. And I started just watching movies, and I like the whole cinematography aspect of it. And I really just started falling in love with video creation, not even necessarily making YouTube videos, just like how videos were made. And so I just spent like all this time just researching just like color theory and camera movements and best cameras to buy, and like the same attention to detail that I gave to playing receiver and all the videos I would look up of how to run routes, how to like all that same energy, I just put it into video creation, or just cinematography and videography and things like that. And so basically I just pulled the trigger, went out and bought a camera, and I was like, all right, let's just start making YouTube videos. Cause like at the time, like I knew you could turn YouTube into a job, but I was just more so just like, I just need something to replace football. I can't just take football out of my life and not replace that with something of equal importance. And so basically I still wasn't kind of ready to talk about football at the time, but I was just making videos. I started off with like motivational videos, started making gym videos, try to do vlogs, do product reviews, song reviews. And then I was finally like, okay, let me talk about what I know the most. And so I did, I'm pretty sure the first highlight review I ever did was Christian McCaffrey's highlight review, because the Broncos had a chance of picking him up in the draft. And so I wanted to kind of spotlight him. And that video did maybe like 10 or 15 more views than like all of my other videos did. And so I was like, okay, so people kind of like the football reviews. And then I made another video, and then another video. And then I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I really still love football. And if I continue to grow this platform, I could turn this platform into something that I wish I had in high school, where it's a platform away from everything else. It's just, hey, here's a space where you can get eyes on your highlight tape, where somebody who unbiasedly can look at your tape, tell you where you need to improve, and actually tell you if you're good or not. Like that, because that was my whole thing. It's like when you just don't have anybody to tell you if you're good or not, you just always question yourself. You're like, I think I'm good. Like I think I'm talented, but if nobody tells you, you're just sitting there just questioning yourself all the time. So I wanted to make this channel something that I wish I had in high school, where it's, hey, I wish I had somebody who knew what they were talking about, tell me, oh man, like, hey, this play, you're on point with right here, but also here's the areas that you can improve, just giving you both sides. And so once I realized that that's where God wanted me to go, and that's the reason why he just put making YouTube videos in my life, I was like, okay, my God, I see what you're doing now. And then it just started growing and growing and growing. And then it is what it is today. So the biggest reason why I started covering high school football players and giving y'all a platform to get your highlights out there was because I wish I had something like this when I was in high school. So I thought I would like pay it forward in a way. So yeah, that's why I started making YouTube videos. All right, but with that being said, this video is probably already long enough. But with that being said, again, firstly, thank you guys for sending in your questions. I really do appreciate it. It helps me just make these cool little videos for you guys. Secondly, I just wanted to say thank you for all the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. It always makes me feel good. Just anytime that somebody just wishes you happy birthday, it always makes you feel good. So I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I really do thank you guys for that. And with all of that being said, show up to the highlight live stream. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna turn up a little bit, we're just gonna have some fun tonight. So again, it's at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time or 7:30 for my boys on the East Coast. But with all of that being said, I love and appreciate each and every single last one of you guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.